Good morning, my friends. It's Jamie with Therapy and Knots, and today we're going to talk about taking some pictures of our crochet hats that we could put out onto social media or on Etsy or wherever that you would like to sell your products or show off your products. One of the things that I have ran into is it's really hard to take a good picture of your crochet items, and I think it's because it's not just something that we can lay flat down. So today we are going to talk about some tips and tricks to get some good pictures. Here we go. So everything that I got today, part-wise, you can get anywhere. You can go to the dollar store, you can go to Walmart. I particularly went to Target today. That's just where we ended up and got a couple of items. So let's talk through that first. So you're gonna wanna get some white, two different things, foam board. So you remember how those science projects that we used to do? This is that thicker piece. This was like $1.50 at Target, and I'm sure you can get it for $1 at the Dollar Tree. And then I also got a piece that's kind of flimsy, and then that way we can kind of fold this up against a wall like this and have a backdrop. And then they also had this, and the only reason I got this is because it was super cheap, but we could build our own light box if we wanted to with these products and just tape it together. The other things I went to, and Target suckers you in. You know that aisle that's like $1 and sometimes it's $3 and sometimes, okay, I transgress. So I did find us a couple of just cute little accessories to put in our pictures. You know, kind of things outside of the box. So because we can lean our hats up against this or even put it across the front. I got this cute little thing of glitter. We're not going to actually open it up. I'm just going to use this as decorations. And then because it is Christmas time, I got a tree. But I figured we could totally use this year round. It's like a tree. All right, let's set this up. Now, because I'm using my phone to record this, I'm actually going to take my pictures with my iPad. I am all about just using the devices and the things that you have in your own house. You do not need to go and buy any type of fancy camera. You can if you want to, but I'm on the cheap, girl. So phone is recording this video, and then we're going to use this iPad to take our pictures. The first tip that I can give you, and this kind of goes against everything that we think about, but you want to find a space that really almost has like an overcast, that there's not going to be any direct sunlight or light coming in from different directions that's going to create a shadow. So I am in a room, I do have the window open, but I'm going to kind of move to the center of the room, no lights turned on. So I have my little crochet table that you all often see in my videos, and I'm going to move this right here in the center for us. I do have my white mat, but I'm just going to cover this with our heavy board that we found. So I'm going to take a couple of different pictures and show you guys. I'll put them on the screen once we do it, but we're going to do some flat surface ones first. So I'm going to grab a hat and stick it on here and show you what I do. Okay, so up first, we have one of our headbands, and this pattern is out on the little shameless plug here. Anyways, this is out on the therapy.knots.com. It's on a blog post, and you can make this yourself. And then there's also some information about how and where and what I do with these tags right here. So this is super cute, right? And we want to take a picture of it so that we can show our friends, or we could possibly sell it, or it's right around the holidays. And so this is the perfect like last minute gift. You make a little side hustle. Come on, girl. Okay, so we're gonna stick this right here in the center, and then what I'm going to do is grab my iPad and turn this little sucker on, and I'm just gonna go into the regular camera. Okay, so now that we're signed on to our iPad, I'm just in the photo app. Nothing fancy, no fancy app. All I'm going to do, now on your phone, if you're using an iPhone, you are going to have the option to do portrait. On this device, all I have is to be able to take the photo. That's not a problem. So what we're going to do first, if you tap in the middle of the screen, you're going to see a yellow box. It may be a little hard to see in this video, but you'll see a yellow box, and that's what you use to focus on your product. So if you put your picture over top what you want and tap in that box, or tap anywhere on that screen in the picture, that's where the focus is going to be. The other thing that you can do is change the exposure on the picture, and I hope I'm saying that right. But what that does is you can either make it brighter or darker as you're taking the picture. This is also something that you can do what I call post-processing, the imaging girl in me. The post-processing that you can then take your picture through some software, which I'll show you how to do that from your phone, and you can do it from your computer, and you can change the brightness of your picture. But you can do that if you're like in a super dark space. If you're like, oh, that's super dark, you can just hold down on that little sunshine thing and raise it up, and what that's doing is it's changing it. So let's take our picture. Oh, and before I forget to tell you, another quick tip. You don't really want to zoom in on your camera. All that's really doing is cropping down. Don't do that. Instead, you zoom in. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna head over, again, have it open, and I'm just gonna come up on top. You are still gonna see some shadows on here. That's okay, we're gonna leave some of those shadows. I like to take my pictures and kind of do them at an angle, but you could do straight on. That's completely up to you. I just like to, I don't know. You pick what you want. So I'm gonna take this and kind of turn it at an angle and do a straight on, and I'm going to do a photo. Oh, we have a kitty cat in here. Do you hear her? Hold on, I'll get her. She was hiding in the closet. There's nothing better than having a friend. I guess I'll let her out. Look. She's like, I'm planning your death in your sleep. All right, hold on. Okay, back to it. So what we're also going to do is then come at it from an angle. So we did it straight on, and now this time I'm going to kind of come down. Push it right over here so I can keep it on the white. Remember, you can crop this later, so don't click on the front so it focuses on the product that I want. And don't be afraid to take this from a couple of different angles. You can always hit the delete button afterwards. Just focus, tap that little box in the center. Focus on it. And then I'm going to try to get a nice little picture of that label. So I'm just going to kind of fold it over so that it looks there. Okay. So we're going to take these pictures that we just did, and then I'm also going to add us a nice little backdrop so that we can do it from a different angle, and that we can also add, yeah, okay, hang on. Okay, so now what I've done is just push my table up against the wall. I have my harder piece of cardboard that I'm going to put here. I'm going to grab my flimsy little piece, and what I'm going to do is basically create an angle right here so that it's white up against the wall. You might have to put a little piece of tape here. That's up to you. Usually it'll kind of stay in place. But again, this I'm going to do is grab some of my accessories that I got. I guess I should probably take the price tags off. That usually does help. Let's see if we can. I don't have any scissors up here, so we're just going to have a nice little plastic piece on there. But our tree, let's see if we can get our little friend here too. All right, so I am going to just kind of set up something. I'm not the best with the eyes with this, so you guys get really creative with it. Don't be afraid of it. I should really put those sparkles like all the way across, shouldn't I? Okay, so now let's grab a hat. So this time, what I'm going to do is actually stick the hat up against here so that it has a little bit more 3D dimension, 2D dimension. I'm probably not seeing that right, but we're going to do that like that. I'm going to grab my camera again. Let's see. Photo app. We're going to come in. Scoot this over just a little hair. Don't be afraid to fiddle with it, guys. This video is going to be 45 minutes long. Bear with me. All right. And then we come in and we take our picture. Focus in, hit in the center, and picture. Okay. So I'm going to do this for a couple of the different hats, doing variations of that, and then I'm going to show you how to do the post-processing on our device, and then I'll show you what I use on the computer if you would like to. Okay. Okay, so on your device, here's the picture that we took. Isn't that kind of cool? So what I do, and I'm going to tell you, don't be afraid of this. Play around with this, change some settings. You're not going to hurt a thing. So up here at the top, and it's the same thing on your phone, you have the ability to edit your picture. And you can do, one of the things that's really nice about the iPhones or the iDevices is they do have this like magic wand that you can press and it changes the settings. And sometimes that's all you need. But other times you're like, I want to play around with it a little bit. And each one of these little circles over here is a different setting that you can change. So you're going to change each individual setting, or you can go over here and click the thing that looks like the 3 circles in a triangle, and you can completely change the filter to one that's like pre-made by the iPhone or Apple or whatever, so you can go in here. Now for me personally, I like to go in here and tweak it myself. So I'm going to hit cancel so that I can start all over from the very beginning. It's going to say discard changes. I'm going to say yes. So I'm going to go back in here and hit edit. I always like to do the little magic wand first because sometimes that gives me everything that I need. And then from there, I just tweak. So this one's brilliance. If you click on it, it'll tell you what it is. Highlights, shadows, contrast, brightness. I like to fiddle with brightness. So all you do is put your finger on the little range and you just move it however that you want. I like to brighten it up just a little hair. And then I'm also going to change my contrast. Again, just a little bit with your finger, nothing fancy. And you get the picture where you like it, and then you hit done. And then what that's gonna do is it's gonna save it with that new settings. And say you get in here and you're like, I don't like that at all. Go back into edit, and then you can go back in and change anything you want. Or even cooler, there is a button where you can say revert and it'll take you back to your original picture. So that's where we are there. I'm gonna show you what I do on the computer.
Okay guys, so I've moved down to my office and we're going to talk about a couple things that you can do on your computer. So first things first, I want to talk to you about Google Photos. I have this, it's free, number one, but you can put it on any one of your devices. It's Android or iPhone friendly. I have it on both my iPad and my iPhone, and I have it set up so that it automatically downloads my images. So it's going to free up your storage on your iPhone or your phone or your device. That's the first thing. But the second thing is that you can access Google Photos from anywhere. And so it makes it really easy to download your image and then be able to have it on your computer. The second thing is, if you're like, what software is she using? I just found this to be able to do kind of where you can record your screen and a cute little picture down at the bottom. And it's called Loom, L-O-O-M. It's also a free software. I'm still kind of figuring it out, but if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so back to it. So I want to show you what the difference that white piece of foam paper, that $2 foam paper that we got from Target today really did. So this is a picture that I took a couple days ago. Very nice lighting up against a wooden floor. And there's nothing wrong with this picture. This looks great. But let me show you what we got today before we even started editing these pictures is we got this. So, I mean, just that's crazy, right? That's just crazy. So to be honest, these pictures look really good without having to do any type of editing. But let's just say, okay, yeah, I do want to edit a little bit there. So let's pick one. Let's go with this one right here. So in Google Photos, which is again just Google Photos you sign on if you have a Gmail account, that's what keeps track of this for you. You just pick which one you want, and then you can either go up here and hit download, or you can hit shortcuts on your keyboard is Shift D to download. Oh, I'm not gonna get back in here. Shift D to download, and what that's going to do is download your picture. For me, this just puts it into downloads. And then from here, I'm going to use, again, this is free. It's iPiccy, I-P-I-C-C-Y. There it is right there. You just create a free account, and then you can go in here and you can edit your photo. This is the same thing that you can do on your device. It's just changing the different, and I don't take pictures for a living, so I won't have the right words on here, but this allows you to go in and change like your exposure, your color, sharpen, or balance, and it lets you to do that from your computer. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to open and add pictures. Oh, I want to go to photo library. Oh, apparently I don't want to do that. Okay, so we're going to go to open from my computer, and I'm going to pick up that picture that we just downloaded and hit open. Now from here, this is where you can go in and you can fix any one of these things over here. You can go in and then hit save. So first things, let's go over here and rotate this just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Make this just a little bit bigger. And then we're going to go in here and just completely play around with things. I feel like saying if you go in here and you just play with a bunch of different things, you can always go back and redo it, right? You play. The more you play with this, the more you're going to kind of learn about it and figure out what you like and what you don't like when you take your pictures. So get in here, play around with it. Do your highlights, your exposures. I think I've said that like 15 times. Sorry. You can go into your sharpen, your vibrance, your colors, your curves. You can even erase the background if you want to. This is if you have pictures of your face, you can go in and change also things with your face. You can blur the backgrounds, those types of things. And then you just save it on your computer. So if you were like, I don't want to do post-processing on my device, this right here is a perfect place to be able to do it. And it's free. you can't get any better than that. So from here, what I'm going to do is group these pictures and put them out on Etsy to sell the divide. But this is also something that you can put on Facebook, or, say you don't want to, if you want to sell, if you don't want to sell, this is a great way to show off the creations that you've made. And if you've made something recently and you've taken a picture of it, go put it on Therapy and Knots, our free community. Like that, it's like selfish plugs today. So this is our free community for Therapy and Knots. It's a great place for a beginner crocheter to come in and ask questions, find some free patterns, have a group of a community of people that are also starting out with crocheting. It's a great place to join us. If you have any questions about taking pictures or the software that I'm using, please leave them below or send me a direct message. Otherwise, be awesome and have a great day.